Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about OnLive, the cloud gaming company, and how they have entered talks with both Microsoft and Sony about possibly bringing their service to the XBL and PSN. Before we get into all that, however, I think it's obviously important that you guys understand what OnLive is. For those of you that do not know, OnLive is basically the on-demand of video games. It allows players to instantly stream video games onto their devices. It was released last June for the PC, Mac, and television via their micro consoles. Since then, OnLive has expanded to a number of devices, including Blu-ray players, tablets, smartphones, and as of earlier this month, Intel embedded processors, though I'm not really sure what that would include. Basically, what OnLive can do is play games on pretty much any device that you own. That's obviously an over-exaggeration, but it is impressive the number of devices that OnLive can play on. OnLive has also secured a number of major development teams, such as EA and Warner. And while OnLive has been successful in securing major software titles, they still have failed to create any affiliation with major hardware manufacturers, which restricts their access to platform-exclusive content, and in turn alienates a large portion of gamers, because I don't know about you guys, but I love my exclusive game content, and it's usually a large part of the reason of why I decide to buy certain consoles. OnLive, however, looks to remedy this problem, as they have invited both Microsoft and Sony into discussion, talking about the possibility of OnLive coming to both the PSN and Xbox Live. The question remains, however, though, will Microsoft and Sony be receptive to new technology that poses a threat of making them obsolete? While I believe this is a pertinent question, the VP of OnLive, Joe Bentley, however, does not see this so much as a problem and says that the service promotes more of a sense of synergy and not competition. He stated, "Absolutely, they would make great consoles. Our controller is a hybrid between the PS3 controller and an Xbox controller. It's all compatible. It would just work." And while he seems optimistic, and I would love to believe that OnLive could possibly become a regular addition to both the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, I must admit that I'm a little bit more skeptical. Both Sony and Microsoft pride themselves on their exclusive content and experiences that are only available through their unique systems. I mean, seriously, if you go to listen to any E3 conference, it will be drilled into your head how this experience can only be, possible on blank system. And I mean, you will hear that time and time again as they talk about what their system can uniquely bring to the table that others can't. And I think that's always been a part of the industry, and I'm a little bit apprehensive to think that it could be taken away so easily. For example, OnLive is not only looking to make connections between Sony and Microsoft, they're also talking to Valve about working with Steam, and there seems to be a possibility of that occurring in the future, and they want to see OnLive become a part of a universal game web that allows players to play anytime, any place. Bentley also stated, "What people are realizing and waking up to is everything could be a console. Why shouldn't you be able to take your game everywhere?" And this is honestly a true statement coming from him, because earlier at E3 this month, they showed a tech demo in where they were playing Gearbox's Borderlands and Ubisoft's From Dust glitch-free on the iPad. So not only are they talking about a universal game, environment in which you can play games anywhere, anytime, they're actually showing how it's a possibility. And that being said, I'm a little apprehensive again to think that Microsoft and Sony would partner with OnLive, because they'd be relinquishing the characteristics that make their systems worthwhile and competitive. At the meantime, I fail to see how this discussion really is about hardware. I think it's more about software, and what OnLive is truly looking for is the software rights that both Microsoft and Sony have at the current time. And that being the case, I fail to see what Microsoft and Sony would gain from this transaction. Maybe in the future we will see some level of incorporation of online service onto Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, but at the meantime, I wouldn't hold my breath if you're looking forward to OnLive becoming a full addition to either system.